Hello, my name is Ketil Teisen. I'm an ambassador for Panasonic in Denmark, and I've been testing out the new Panasonic GH6 for the last 2 weeks. It's a 5.7K camera that is capable of ProRes 10-bit 422. But what I want to talk about today is actually not all the specs, because they're already leaked and you'll find them elsewhere. But I want to look at this camera from a production point of view. How is it to work with the GH6? The GH6 is a very well-built camera. In fact, I think it's the best Panasonic camera I've ever had in my hands. The handle is really fits really good in your hand, and you have two FN buttons here on the front. That is really, you don't accidentally hit them like you did on the S5, and it's very nice to hold. It's not very heavy. It feels like, for me, like the GH5. It's got a little more thick in the back because it's got a fan, and you can tilt out the screen like this. So I think they've solved some of the problems that we've been seeing before. For instance, I always accidentally hit the dials here and changed the shutter speed. But now you can see here in the front, you have this button on the top. So if you put the shutter speed there, you have no problem. You will never hit it. And if you don't want to change anything during recording, you actually also here on the back, you have a lock button. And with a lens like the 25-50 1.7 or the 10-25 1.7 with a manual iris, you can just lock the camera and change the iris here, and it works really nice. I really love that function. But what do I love most about this camera? Of course, it's really amazing that you have a 25 megapixel chip here, and you have 5.7K in ProRes. And right now I have a 512 gigabyte CFast Express card in this camera, and it only gives me 42 minutes of recording time. If I go to my normal state of recording, which is a 4K, I can record 7 hours. So it's really big files, but you can do it. And I'm a run and gun filmmaker, so I'm always producing fast things. I'm in environments where things change, where people don't repeat anything. And one of the key things for me is focus. And here I think this camera outperforms the GH5 by length. With the GH5 and with the S5, I think I always had problems hitting manual focus. But with this camera, I have no problem. Because finally, they have listened to us. They have brought in that we can now magnify the focus point while recording. And we can do it in a picture profile or in the full screen. And the nice thing about it is that I've allocated this front button so I can even punch in and check if my focus is in focus while I'm recording without even touching the lens. And this back wheel here, if I just take that to the side, I can change between picture-in-picture view or full screen. And I think that really works good. So I went down to one of the places that I thought, where is the most difficult place to film for me? And this is a glass blowing place called Backhouse and Brown. It's like filming fleas. They're all over all the time. They never stop. They all have to be in constant motion, and you cannot ask them to do anything. And last time I made a film, it took me 2 days to make a small film where I could pick out the things that were in focus, and luckily I had enough for a film. Now I went down, and after half an hour, I had the same amount of sharp, good pictures that I did make in 2 days before. And this is because I could magnify while I was recording. And I don't have a eagle's sight. I use reading glasses. So it's something that I think is really important for me, because I don't want a cage or external monitor and all this. I just want a good microphone on top, and you can do that. You don't need anything else. I just think it's so well built. And even one more thing here, the display button that always was here on the back that we always hit under while recording. Finally, it's not there anymore. It's down here. Yes, thank you, Panasonic. And overall, I think for me, it's not a perfect camera, but it's certainly the best tool I've had in my hand.